As a Gen Z myself, I see rising leftist and socialist sentiments among young adults nowadays, so it looks like Gen Z is more favorable to socialism than any previous generation. Today I want to talk about the reasons for such a tendency, as well as to speak about why I myself, as one of the Gen Z representatives, value capitalism and think that a better economic system hasn't been invented yet. I think that there are actually three major factors which make Gen Z angry and sad about capitalism. The first one is the wealth gap. This generation has grown up witnessing the massive wealth gap between the richest 1% and the rest of the society. It's not like it didn't exist before, however, it seems that the internet has made it possible for everyone to see high-profile corporate scandals, executive bonuses during economic downturns, and companies prioritizing profits over workers' well-being. Big corporations often dominate industries, which leads to the feeling that the whole system is rigged. Many Gen Zers view capitalism as enabling corporate monopolies that suppress competition, exploit labor, and put profit over people. Socialism, by contrast, is seen by many as a way to rein in corporate power and, of course, to prioritize social welfare. One more thing which makes Gen Z angry are the rising housing and rent costs. We grew up during a severe housing affordability crisis, especially in major cities. Rent and home prices have skyrocketed while wages have stagnated, making home ownership a key part of the American dream feel out of reach for many. Housing shortages, population rise, as well as the manipulations by huge investment firms have made the situation even worse. That is the moment when young adults look at socialism, which offers solutions for housing problems like publicly funded housing, rent control, and housing as a human right, which resonates of course with the young people who are frustrated by rising rent and low availability of affordable housing. And last but not least is the job security. It seems that nowadays the job market is the most unstable, especially when looking at previous decades. Labor market is dominated by freelance contracts and unstable employment, with fewer full-time jobs offering benefits like healthcare and retirement savings. And when it comes to normal 9-to-5 jobs, even such stable industries as IT nowadays are seeing huge layoffs, which also do not add positive thinking to the Gen Z minds. Being fired for nothing, let's say just because of small economical burden on the department or because of the new AI tool, is something which is becoming more and more common nowadays. This lack of security makes people more critical of the traditional capitalism system, where stable jobs are being replaced by less reliable alternatives that favor corporate flexibility over worker security. Despite all of the negative sides, I think that capitalism is very natural for us as human beings. It demonstrates who we are and makes the strongest and the smartest win. I actually started to realize it in my early teens, when I was playing online MMORPG game World of Warcraft. I was fascinated by the auction house there, where each and every player was able to sell in-game items. So if you were the only one having a specific item, you were able to set the market price for this item, and everyone else on your server had to deal with it. When I was a kid, I thought, damn, how cool is that? But it must be happening this way only in the game. Guess what? That's how the world and economy actually works. If you already have power and money, you most probably are going to influence people in the market in your favor, in order to make even more money and obtain more power. The only problem is that in such a situation, only a few people or a very small group of people are actually in favorable position, and that is what makes everybody else so angry and desperate. Despite that, I think that this is our human nature, and capitalism just shows it and allows those who are smarter and more risk-tolerant to succeed, which in my opinion is pretty fair. And to specify, I do not consider myself risk-tolerant or too smart, but I just tend to accept the reality and play by the rules. If you are smarter than other people, you are going to live better than they live, and will have more money and power. This could be a very sad realization, especially if you are not the smartest person in the room. Back in time, not so smart and strong people were just killed by the ones who were smart and strong. Nowadays, stupid and weak people have every opportunity to be alive and safe, however, will most probably be living a very poor life. I know that all of the things that I have said just now are pretty brutal and negative, and there is actually nothing to be happy about in the capitalism. However, besides just accepting capitalism due to the fact that neither me or anybody else can nor should change it, there are things which I very much enjoy about it. Capitalism gives us a choice. Whether it's deciding between brands, services, and experiences, competition keeps things fresh and going. You want to eat fast food, raw meat, eco-friendly soy latte, or literally anything else, there is a market for that. and you will be able to obtain these things. The beauty of capitalism is that businesses are always trying to serve us better, and we as consumers have the power to decide who wins. This of course doesn't mean that you will always be happy with the prices which businesses provide. By no means. But in case you want to buy something, even if this thing doesn't exist in your country, and the thing will be delivered right to your door in a few days' time. We take it for granted, but this is actually a miracle of the 21st century. Another thing is the possibilities. We live in a time where anyone can turn an idea into reality. Of course, your particular idea will most probably fail, but that's because your idea is actually bad and doesn't deserve the attention of anyone except your friends and mom. But in general, ideas which are good and implemented well are able to make you millions. Some of the biggest brands we use every day were started by people in their early 20s, even teens. From the random games and app stores and YouTube channels to fashion brands and car companies, capitalism fuels innovation and makes it possible for anyone to disrupt an industry. I am not saying that it's easy to do it. Of course it's not. It's actually very hard, but possible. So the opportunity is always there. It's only your choice whether or not to chase it. If you are passionate about something, whether it's gaming, fashion or even memes, you can turn that passion into a business. Capitalism has given us, the Gen Z, the freedom to create, monetize and share our ideas with the world instantly. And last but definitely not least is that capitalism provides us with meaning of life. It might sound over-exaggerated, but listen, life in reality doesn't have a meaning, so everyone is free to choose their own meaning and pursue it. Capitalism provides us with a goal that is unreachable, since there is always something new out there that you will want but never achieve. Whether it's a new iPhone, Warhammer miniature or sports car, there is something for anyone. Some will say that this is a pure consumerism, and I will have to agree with that. Yet I think that this is a great thing to utilize. Imagine if you would wake up and have actually nothing to chase in life. It would be very boring. For me, the capitalism provides the reason to develop myself, achieve new things, get more money and new skills. And the best thing about it is that I totally understand that this is an endless game. I will never have an achievement in my life or buy a thing which will make me permanently happy. I will always chase for something more, for something bigger. But that is exactly the reason why I try not to base my happiness on material things, since those serve only as motivator to continue playing the game of life with an excitement.